Practice session number 1. Imagine doing the exact same thing as a man but getting paid far less. Imagine being treated differently just because you're a woman. Imagine being a professional soccer player for the U.S. women's national team. Imagine their harsh reality. Playing soccer since I was knee-high and also being a woman makes me credible to give this speech due to the fact that it hits close to home. Today, I would like to share the harsh realities of the gender inequality and pay gap in regards to professional women's soccer player. According to Emily Kaplan, the U.S. women have been fighting gender inequality for quite some time. This is according to an ESPN article written in November 2019. She calls it a historic step forward in the struggle to achieve equal pay. The U.S. women's team has been far more successful in comparison to the men's team. In fact, last year was their 4th national championship win, while the men, they haven't won since 1930. This is completely unfair. They still get paid less. According to Abigail Hess, a CNBC career reporter passionate of the game of soccer, the U.S. women's national team filed a claim against the U.S. Soccer Federation, claiming they don't get paid the same and they also experience gender discrimination. The lawsuit claims that if the men and women's team both played 20 games and won them all, the women would still get paid 38% less than the men. This is absurd. Another example of the unfair wages is the FIFA World Cup prize money. While the men are granted $400 million, the women were only granted $30 million. This, again, is crazy. Investing in women, it isn't just a social stance, it's a smart business tactic. In fact, as the team's popularity has grown, brands associated with the teams support their message. For example, the U.S. women's national team reaches women and children worldwide. These are the same families that could be lifelong fans and supporters and consumers. They bring money in, give money out. Big corporation sponsors and partners such as Volkswagen, Nike, and AT&T, they also support the U.S. women's national team and their fight for equal pay. They support women 100%. In April, on Equal Pay Day, they announced that they would pay the 23 members of the U.S. women's national team $31,000 in order to cover the disparity between the bonuses paid to the men and the women. This was a huge first step. And my reference to this topic, author Mahia Gajman is one on the other end of the spectrum. She is unsure as to what differentiates the pay between men and women. According to Mahida, the Time magazine assigned to researching the topic, one of the threshold issues is that there's no agreement on what the relative levels of pay are. The U.S. Soccer Federation said women national team players are paid differently because they're specifically asked for that, which that doesn't make sense. Despite being offered, Despite being offered and I'm sorry, I suck. Benefits that the U.S. women's team players are granted include, but are not limited to, parental leave, multiple bonuses, dental insurance, paid child care assistance, and much more. These are all benefits that are not provided to the men's team. This is why people argue that they are paid the same. At the end of the day, the women's players were offered less play than their male counterparts. This here is a very definition of gender discrimination, benefits or not. Whether you're a woman or not, it is evidence that regardless of circumstances, women professional soccer players are paid immensely less than men. A quote from Hillary Clinton says, "We need to make equal pay and equal opportunity for women a reality, so that women's rights and human rights are once and for all." Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. Empower a woman today. Hug a woman today. Support a woman today because we deserve it. Thank you.